Hello, and welcome to another week of Uncomfortable. For anyone it is who is joining for the very first time, hi. I am Jo, your host for Uncomfortable, and guess what? We are more than excited to have you here with us. Listen, we have come back for a part 2 with the very own Brent Broussard. Let me get it together this time around, right? To where we're going to be talking about hobby to hustle. And listen, we got so much feedback on that, on like what that mean, what does that even look like? But guess what, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive into it tonight. So listen, we are currently live Facebook Live, YouTube, and we're gonna have it uploaded on many of our other live streamings later on today or tonight, maybe tomorrow, but we're gonna get it. So listen, if you are here for the very first time, I am so excited to have you here. Please make sure to like, share, because guess what, we diving into this uncomfortable conversation, right? You may be asking yourself, if you're listening for the first time, what is uncomfortable? I'm so happy you asked. Uncomfortable is the podcast where we come and we talk about just that, all of the uncomfortable stuff, all of the nitty-gritty stuff, the stuff it is that most people like to shy away from, your hard truths, some of your ugly truths, some of the things it is that many a times we may feel shame or even embarrassed about. But one thing it is that we say here at Uncomfortable, it is, in order for you to heal, you must talk about it. And that's exactly what we're going to continue to do on tonight. So if you can, go ahead in the chat, make sure you're rocking with us. We're going to go ahead and welcome Mr. Brent P. Broussard.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back.
We is in here. Hey, Brent. So anyone it is who may be watching for the very first time, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Let me go ahead and introduce myself for those that listened last week. So, my name is Brent P. Broussard, and I am the CEO and founder of the Broussard Enterprise Group, which is a managing and consulting firm with 2 other entities that are under the Broussard Group. All shall I say the Broussard Enterprise Group LLC. One of those entities is my leadership line, known as Beans by Brent. In which, I'll get a little further into how the name came about from that.
Right.
But you can find my products and my bracelets currently they're found in the Northern Baldwin side of Lafayette, Louisiana. It's in E6. I know I said 7 last week, but it's actually E6 that it's over the.
Gotta correct it real quick so the people know where to go.
Because I ain't able to make it look at myself when I was talking stuff last week.
Yeah.
I got that wrong. But the other entity that I'm still working on right now is leadership in this project. But eventually I will be dropping the project product off. Basically, what the leadership initiative is going to be a nonprofit organization dealing with 12 to 18-year-old kids, getting them prepared for the next steps of life, getting them prepared for college, trade school, military, whatever you get into, and hopefully partnering with the professional mentor that can not only keep them accountable on what they're trying to do, but also really get in the hands-on feel of whatever field they're trying to do.
Yeah, which on tonight we're going to dive a little bit deeper also too into that, because I really truly believe that is something that is necessary and it is a need mainly too in our community, because we have so many homes it is that have the absent fathers in there, and many homes too have absent mothers as well, so it's a lot of kids nowadays who don't have any type of guidance, and sometimes the only people they have is whenever they're going to school. So knowing that this is something that's going to be it's currently available. It's just not in the vision of what Brent may think it is. You saying we go drop the project? I'm like, no, it's a nonprofit already. What you talking about? We exercising that muscle right now, But knowing that that's going to be an option, it is an option for our kids, is like, it's amazing. And also too, let me just say is that we're gonna kind of go from last week just a little bit to get the people a little bit touch or whatever. But one of the things I don't want us to overlook is the question that arises with hobby to hustle.
Right.
People is like, "Ooh, Brent out here hustling." No, Brent, he hustling. He doing the good hustle. You hear me?
Yeah, I don't want people thinking I'm out here hustling anything illegal that might land in jail. So we're gonna correct that.
Yeah.
Right thing.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, it's like I don't understand why it's always like a negative, stigma that's put on the word hustle, because like I had mentioned to you, earlier, was that I know when I was a single mother and I was making like gift baskets or whatever, I still had a 9 to 5 doing the baskets. That was my little side hustle. But when people hear the word hustle, they immediately jump to the streets or drugs or anything of illegal.
I think part of that comes from maybe the film and music industry.
Right.
That's kind of portrayed as gifts and drug dealers and all of these negative connotations. So people are still kind of ingrained with that mindset that if you're a hustler, then you're in the streets.
Yeah.
But anybody can have a side hustle. I started off with a side hustle. That's now growing a full-blown business. And like I said earlier, Joe, you got to think about it. There's multiple side hustles. There's people like you that are out here selling juices. There's people that are selling pretty much anything outside of drugs. And then even for some single mothers in larger cities like Atlanta, Miami, and New York, that's how they strip the ball, something like that.
Hey, listen, whatever you gotta do, because everybody, and listen, it's really great that you make that point of things, is because everybody think people just start out at the top. No, some people literally like have to climb and
start at the bottom sometimes.
Yeah.
In a lot of places, I've had to start at the bottom and work my way up. But I got to do my hustle every time that I get to the next point. Because I got to work hard to just, further up that.
Yeah.
And even now, man, I'm working 9 to 5. Still trying to manage everything else. I'm not even 9 to 5. And I'm trying to manage my side hustle. And working, I guess it's maybe 5 to 9 or in cases.
Yeah,
listen. 5 to 2 a.m.
Listen, I because it's uncomfortable, so we talk, we get whatever. I had to give up that 9 to 5, bro. I was working. Listen.
Input from the things go right for the nonprofit. I'm gonna drop the 9 to 5.
It is.
But it's gotta come in different stages. Well,
it has to be your timing with God. You and God have that relationship, and y'all know when it is. But I know for me, I have been working at Stella. Everybody knows Stella. You know what I mean? I started there in 2008. And listen, I thought I'd have made it. I was River Ranch ready for life. Because I went from... Right. Because I had been working in, I believe minimum wage at the time was like $5.15. Then it went up to like $5.25. I was working at Sonic as a car hop, and then I had me another little job, like home health or whatever. And I remember it as clear as day is, because we're talking about business. And many a times when it comes, to making those decisions, we literally have to, step out on faith. But I know for me, it wasn't so much of me stepping out on faith. It was more of me being available for my kids. And at Stellar, everybody knew it was locked down. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you can't even go in there with jewelry on. even though it's a true manufacturer.
Like, I am not about to get on, on America Airlines real quick. I'm trying to understand why we, have to do all this. But I remember it was a Friday. It was March. And we had a really, really, really bad, we had black ice that day on the streets, and like you really couldn't drive. And I remember being on my way, and it's part of my story. People at Stella don't come for me, but being on the streets and like getting an email, and in the email it basically was telling us as sales consultants and everybody else that we had customers to serve, to be careful, but we needed to be to work on time. Now keeping in mind, one, I'm this little chocolate black girl from Fightingville, so I don't even know how to walk on ice, better yet even drive on ice. Let's just get that first and foremost. Two, the schools were closed, so it's like trying to find a babysitter. It was crazy. And then you telling me to hurry up and get to work because you got customers that you need me to serve. Man, I got there to Friday, Brent. I was so unhappy. I'm like, man, I was worrying about my kids. My kids like, mama, why we don't have school? Is we go freeze today? They thought like the ice age and everything was about to happen. So they scared. They keep calling me. I'm like, y'all, I'm at work. I can't answer my phone. So that was the Friday. Over the weekend, I literally heard my kids' heart. Like, mama, we was scared. We didn't want you to drive. Whatever. Come to Monday. Because I had been doing Herbalife at the time too, and I was making really great, decent money with it. Come the Monday, it's like something in my bed just held me down, like say, don't get up, like just don't do it. The Tuesday, man, I call up my homegirl. I say, man, let me know when you got my desk packed. I wait the Wednesday. It was a Wednesday or the Thursday. I left my keys and everything, but let me tell you this. That was the best decision I could have ever made. Now, I'm not telling everybody to go do that.
Sometimes we just think that in
yeah.
Because you be at war with us, when you thinking like that, it's like, you are really want to give us this benefit.
Right.
I got to take me on, but at the same time,
I got benefits.
People making good money off this.
Yeah.
That actually kind of feeds you until you find whatever, your next job is going to be.
Right. So to where that was back in 2016. So to know then I made a decision, and now we're 6 years later. You know what I mean? But now seeing how God has literally worked everything out on my behalf, I can honestly say, even, as a testament to our title, hobby to hustle. Because Herbalife literally was just a little hobby for me. But when I start seeing the money coming in and building the team and everything, and I'm like, ooh, I can leave Stella and be okay. And it was hard. Let me just say, it wasn't always
because
easy.
Good days when I'm making all this money, then
come on, check.
Not getting anything.
Nothing. It's dry. Phantom didn't happen. It was real dry.
It's like that because I've been working until pretty much almost 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Got your good days where you got customers coming in, that's trying to tell something.
Yeah.
And then just, that lean time of the year when nobody is coming. So you got to balance not only finances, you got to balance mentally too. Like, man, what can I do to get some money in my pocket? What can I do for things?
Right.
And that's when I try to put different skills of picking up the phone, calling people, texting people, and getting my book of business and calling anybody that I can, telling them what we got going on, what I got, just to drive something to me so I can still have money.
Right. And like when hearing you say that, all it does is contribute to your hustle anyways.
It really does. It really does contribute to it because, on those lean months when there's not anything really going on, that gives me an opportunity to work on something else. And build that up inside us, which is kind of almost as my brother was born.
Yeah.
Sometimes being born in a therapy time.
Right. So for the people who may be tuning in for the very first time, do you want to go ahead and give them a little recap on, I know we have the title of Hobby to Hustle, but tell them what that looked like for you.
Well, just to kind of recap what I'm talking about as, whenever I did with these public started, it was actually created from the therapy design, through my therapy. Working on, talking about patients and, find a way so I can really try to talk myself when I'm being a little into people, even sometimes and just, getting back to putting things with my hand and, how it happened was I was at my bracelets therapist over here, and we kind of talked about that session.
Yeah.
The next thing I know is he's like, okay, well, you like it so much, why don't you make one for yourself? I'm like, how you want me to do it? So the left side of the session, where some life was in a lot of good things, and it just kind of manifested itself from me, how to put the things together and how to tie it right to the actual research and then get into different source points that I'm using now, and understanding the history behind where it come from, and just putting all that to what it is now.
Yeah, telling the story of and being able to wear it on your wrist. I love that whole concept of everything, because I truly believe, I believe it was Eric Thomas who said something or mentioned one time, about your why. Like, what is your why? Like, our whys is the depth, of us, but how do we connect our why to others, to why they should support, our businesses? And like, that speaks volume, even for itself, because, being business owners, bro, it ain't always easy. You really have to hustle.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle, but I'm a firm believer, that God has truly equipped us for the works of where we currently are. You know what I mean? Like, we're here with a purpose and with a destiny, in mind, and He is going to. I'm a firm believer He gonna sustain us. Like, I don't know what it's gonna look like, how it's gonna go.
The thing about it too is like everybody has a purpose in life. It's just you have to figure out what that purpose is. And once you do figure it out, then you got to figure out walking that and really see what you're going for.
Right.
And usually, I think that's around that.
Yeah, and knowing that everybody, their journey is completely different. I hear many a times, even I have to sometimes correct my daughters with certain things. Like, they be like, oh mama, like, I want to do this, like how you do it, or I want to be this way. I'm like, baby, you gotta go through my whole history book to understand why I am the way I am, not just because of internally and certain things that I experienced when I was a child, or even, a teenager and younger adult, but also to my mental. You'll never, ever, ever be able to be here. You'll never be able to hear, to see, to think, the way that I have to make everything, connect and vibe together. So you may want to do or be something in that way, shape, or form when it comes to my character, or even my integrity, the principles and morals that I have, but you'll never, ever, ever be me, nor will you ever do it the way how I do it. It's either going to be better or worse, but it's never going to be the way how mama does it. So I literally have to tell them many a times, stop thinking that way. Like, you're your own person. You develop your own character. Go through life to do your self-discovery, because we may end up in the same place, but that does not necessarily mean we're going to take the same journey or the same path on getting there.
Nobody is in the same journey. If you really think about it, life is not a linear path.
It's not.
There's going to be bumps and everything else, and good and valleys, and good days, bad days, ugly days, birds. Like you're gonna go through it, but you don't just go through life. You grow through life.
I like
every
it.
day is a lesson to help you grow.
Yeah, I like the way how you say that. You don't just go through life; you grow through life. So yeah, and when you were saying that, I was thinking about something else I wanted to say, but when you said that, I completely forgot about it because it was that good. Yeah, it was just that was good, and I feel like if more people, if they look at things that way, like not every L literally has to be a loss. Like it can literally be a lesson for you. You know.
I've heard this when we talk about getting L's.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a law. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
We're supposed to learn in that moment to make you grow better and be a better person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how, like, with all that, I know last week we talked about therapy, you know, and Brent not being Brent had to go get himself together. You know? Yeah. So all of that is growth. All of that, you know, is change. But one thing it is that I can honestly say is that a lot of people don't like to adjust to change. They don't like change. And change has to happen.
It's like a lot of people, they're scared to grow and they're scared to change themselves. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to learn in therapy. You can't be afraid of change. It's going to happen regardless. Like every 4 years we got a new president that comes in. You know, every 2 weeks we have congressmen that come in. Every 4 years you got to be ready for that change to happen.
Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you, Brent, because I know, you know, we're talking, we all uncomfortable, so we talk about, you know, the uncomfortable stuff and getting, you know, out of our, you know, comfort of things. Is, you know, I know you were saying that, you know, you're still with your 9 to 5, and once, you know, the nonprofit and stuff, once it takes off, like, speak about, like, for you, what does that even look like? Because, you know, change happens every single day. Life is going to happen, you know, regardless. But what is that very thing that it is that you're looking for, or what you're expecting, or what you need to have to know when that shift and when that change, it, like, you need to do it? You know what I mean? Like when you need to put in that 2-week resignation letter, like, this is it. Like, what does that look like for you?
Well, you know, for me, obviously, especially with the leadership initiative project, we're calling it right now, it's understanding that I'm still in the funding stage, that I'm still researching where to get funded and, you know, other ways to try to get from. Like one of the beauties about me going to the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce conference that happened last Thursday was I met with different people from the Department of President and Development, the Small Business Association, and other groups. Plus, you know, also there were banks like ACE and First Horizon, a couple of other funding options there.
Yeah.
So one of the reps from the Small Business Association was he was telling me about certain grants that I could look into, you know, for what I'm trying to do the project. But also there are certifications that minority people can get that can also lead to funding. And you know, I'm still doing a little bit of research on some of those certifications to they are and they can help me, not just as a business owner, but it can be information that I can pass on to other entrepreneurs that may be coming up on the wheel and maybe trying to do something similar.
Yeah, because I know many of people, like how you said, you know, getting with the Hispanics, like most people don't like to make that merge. They don't like to make that connection. They want to just,
but you know what
I mean?
It's like you, especially as an entrepreneur, business owner, and even an inspired business owner. One of the things that you have to get out of is not want to branch out with other people. Mm-hmm. Because you can't just get into one bubble with one group of people.
Right.
You have to reach out with the other groups. And you know, when I found out that the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was doing that, I didn't know they existed. I knew about JoHanna, I knew Black Chamber of Commerce, but I didn't know there was a Hispanic chamber.
Yeah.
And when I found that, I was like, oh, wait, this might be something that I really
connect.
to see where I can make some kind of connections, not just on the business level, even on the personal level.
Right. Right.
And I walked in the door, they were all, real nice, real comfortable with us. But walking in the house, it was mainly like entrepreneurs every day.
Yeah.
I think they expected to see more as entrepreneurs, but I'm not always being maybe to there were more black entrepreneurs there trying to get us than anybody else.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come meet you to the next meeting to see,
As a matter of fact, the next place they will commerce meeting is on the 4th Tuesday of every month.
Oh yeah, that's with Brandy. I got that on my schedule.
Yeah, I want to tell you that.
Yeah.
It's real beautiful when you sit there, all of these different black entrepreneurs, and meeting everybody, after the networking, has business cards and everything.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. We went, I want to say, was it June or July? We went to the meeting there, and being there is really what got my wheels turning. Like, oh my God, like, Joe, you got to get your life together. Like, not just life, but your business together, too.
It's jumping on like just for his podcast in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great information that we give. Dwayne has a lot of great information. If everybody on that phone gives some kind of information, you can take do your research and you can make that contact with somebody like this or Dwayne or whoever else.
The networking of it, yeah, and that's what it was for me, of being able to exchange my business cards. Because let me tell you too is we just gonna be humbled about it. Is that even though I was wanting to step out, wanting to meet people, there still was like that fear of will I be accepted, will they see me, will they, and it's not something that you ponder on, and it's how can I say, it's like, it wasn't like a scary thing. It was just like more of like a anxiety, kind of stuff, because it's the unknown. You know what I mean?
Because, now that you mentioned that, like I said last week, I'm an introverted extrovert, or the technical term of it, I'm lethal.
Yeah.
But on the introverted side of me, I feel just like you. If I go to one of these networking events and there's somebody I don't know, I'm just going to sit and kind of, take the room and see where I can fit in.
Let me assess the room.
I'm talking to you, I'm not done.
Yeah.
But then that extrovert side of me wants to be out there meeting people and talking and, realizing we need to get out of this comfort zone. Because if I don't go to these networking events, then people are going to wonder, what is he really doing?
Right.
He's trying to do this, but he's not coming out to meet anybody.
Right.
One of the biggest things that I did during the summer was I kind of challenged myself. I said, if I'm going to run this shirt that has my logo on it, then I got to do the face of the brand. Especially when I'm a one-man operation right now. I got to do things. I got to step out. I got to talk to these people, even though it might be uncomfortable. And it's out of my comfort zone what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I can do that. When I went to one of the seminars on socials, literally everybody that we met has certain connections with LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and everything else. And they're texting me on the daily almost like, hey, what you got going on? Do you have time to meet me? You need to sit down and talk. And I'm like, all right, we'll put this up.
Yeah. And one thing it is that I'm learning, as I'm growing, as I'm learning, as I'm soaking in as much knowledge and information from everyone, is that all I can just do is just be my true authentic self. Like at many a times, many people who have heard my story before, I dealt with a lot of like identity issues, when I was younger, being the dark-skinned girl, in the classroom, not feeling as if, I was seen or even pretty, and then too, I didn't have my dad as well. So there was a lot of things with I had to overcome with my identity, and I still see like every now and then how certain things may like just pop up. You know what I mean? But then all I have to do is right.
Being the air still the light through green eyes.
Yeah, because we was like everybody used to be all over y'all back in the day.
But my blackness.
Yeah.
Like you too. Like don't do me like that. I'm still in the world.
Right. Yeah. And you know, it's just some things I feel like talking about it is like literally what we have to do, because people sit in that and it's a real thing that they're dealing with. It's a real thing that they're questioning. Like, we ain't the only ones dealing with this issue. Y'all know y'all dealing with the exact same thing. But the beauty in it all is that once you get out of here, and you know, I literally had to keep, you know, telling myself of Romans 12, like how to renew my mind. Don't be conformed to the world. Don't be conformed to everything that's around you. People go be who they go be. Let them be in their lane. You stay in your lane. Just keep renewing your mind. Keep renewing your mind. And one of the things that helps me is Pastor Mike Todd, you know, in the different series that he be having. Because, like, he be just like, oh, my God. It be like, Pastor Ken hit from the right, he hit from the left. I mean, it be like a knockout.
Jakes or
yeah.
Some of the prominent pastors. You can hit from
all different directions.
I mean, even now, like doing it to Keon Henderson out of Houston. And when I'm taking that brother from some real stuff, and I'll be people really capable. It's like, man, I got to and really listen to this brother live.
Yeah. Like, it hits you with truth. It hits you with, you better go get that mirror and do some self-reflection, like some self-evaluation. And, you know, with us having the title of Hobby to Hustle with healing, vision, and purpose, like all of that stuff, it all works together, because we will never be able to really live out in our purpose unless we heal, unless we see vision. And what does that look like? What are we healing from? What are those underlying things that we haven't uprooted just yet? What does our vision look like? Like, why are we doing what we doing? What's the overall goal, you know, and real purpose of it? And then the purpose of it is, how are we trusting God for him to catapult us? Right. So it's like all this stuff, it all plays.
Because I got to realize, I'm still working in 9 to 5. I got this other thing that I'm working with, and I got to show him the living with the right people that's going to have the same interest that I have, and really want to see my vision through. Because one of the things that I'm really working on right now for my profit, outside of one aspect, is trying to find the right people that I'm going to trust that can be on the board of directors. Because I don't trust everybody easily.
Yeah, and you can't do it by yourself either.
No, I know I can't do it by myself.
We need the help.
It's like I got to relinquish some of that trust to 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
That are line with my vision so that we can make this a great purpose.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a village in order for it to do it. But I truly believe, like, if God gave you the vision for it, he will give you the provision as well, and he will sustain it, and he will bring the people that is needed to fill the room, to get it, you know, where it needs to be, because it's gonna happen, because it's a need. That's a need.
It's a necessary need, and it's something, a little bit from what other non-doctors are doing in that area. So, and even talking about some of those nonprofits, I've seen what they've done. I pay attention to their socials and but I'm still working on what I got to do. But I also do want to kind of bridge and forge that relationship so that we can build the village together and still work on that common goal of raising up this generation of kids so that they can have some level of excellence in their life.
Yeah, and you know what I love about the different organizations is that I feel like every organization is molded around certain kids. You know what I mean? Like, not all of them are exactly the same. And what the beauty in it is because many of these kids, like, you may be able to reach one of the kids that maybe somebody else not able to reach, or they can reach one of the kids that you're not able to reach. But if we don't have a wide range of people who are tangible to reach these particular kids, then they all just kind of fall, you know, by the wayside. Yeah, so I don't look at anything as competition. Like, that's just one thing I just don't, it's just not in my DNA. That, like, the jealousy, enviness thing, it's just not in my DNA. God didn't build me with it.
I see that as really collaborating.
Right.
Visually, or VC, or whoever else is out there. To really, create that common goal. Like, look, we're all trying to work with kids. We're all trying to build them up and give them greatness. And really help them get where they want to go. I may have something that you don't have. How do we put together and we work on it?
And we make it happen. Yeah. And that's the way how it's supposed to be, you know, like, it takes a village. In the village, everybody looks different.
Especially when it comes to us folks, we still live in that abandoned narrow mentality.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see one person outside of the other.
Ooh, Lord. That's a whole nother topic. A whole nother conversation.
I mean, I can go real deep into that subject if I wanted to right now.
Yeah. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna stay on our sunshine. You see our sunshine?
Yeah. We gonna stay on that.
You know, right there, because I like it's real though. It really is real. So I know we're talking about, you know, hobby to hustle, but tell us in more depth, because I know many of people are probably asking, okay, Brent, you keep saying project, then Joe keeps saying nonprofit that's up and going right now. Like, expound to us a little bit more, like, in depth of your overall vision for, I know you said with helping kids, but it's so much more than just helping kids. You know what I mean?
Really, truly, like, I kind of look at it from, like I said, back in my childhood, when, some of the guys that I've been, right around this neighborhood and around Truman, people pulled me and saying, hey, look, you know, you're doing what we're doing out there, we want you to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like now that I kind of consider myself the OG of my generation. I gotta be the OG and step to these kids like, hey, I see what you're doing. Let me show you a better way to get something else.
Yeah.
Let me show you, where you need to go.
To give them that guidance, because I know when we were younger, mom and daddy didn't even have to get to you. Like, the neighbor next door got to you before they even got to you to chastise you, to correct you, to whip you behind, like to do whatever was needed.
Because back when we were growing up, if you did something in the neighborhood, whoever saw you get you first. They call you about it, take you out about it. And then when you keep home, you get that whoop.
Bro, I got it from everybody. Like, man, like one was enough.
I can tell you the stuff that I did with my boys we broke clicks.
Oh my God. But what the beauty in that is that, like, that literally molded me to be the person who I am today.
Right. I mean, if I didn't have those positive influences, not just from the neighborhood, but I'm talking about my father, my uncles, my grandfather, my great uncles, all these positive men that were raising me up to where I am today. Ain't no telling what I would have been doing. I could have been doing better. And truthfully, with some of the guys that I was hanging around, that were falling into the streets, I could have fell into right with them, and I would have been 6 under or in the jail cell. But lucky enough, I had those OGs that told me, can't do that. Go do this over here. You know, the family. You know, we know what's going on.
Yeah, and you know that like it's so true. Like it's so true. I tell me and my brother Copeland with my dad, we have the conversation all the time. And you know, we have to be like, bro, we supposed to be part of the statistics, bro. We ain't supposed to be where we currently are right now. Like we not supposed to be here.
You really want to go to the statistics? I would say the big thing was supposed to make it past 5. And then even in some cities, black kids gonna make 21.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta look at what's going on in Chicago, right? With the amount of violence that's going on in that city. Kids, they're making 18 in Chicago.
Oh my God.
It's just sad.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's like, it's so horrible. And just being able to just be thankful because, you know, according to statistics, is that it is said that if you have a parent who is in the streets, who gets locked up or who gets, you know, goes to jail, whatever, drugs, whatever, there is an 80-something% chance that you're going to follow. Yeah. That you're going to walk in the same footsteps that they are. And to know that neither me or my brothers walked in that now, we did some stuff now. Like, you know, the glory to God. He, you know, like he really kept us. And it just makes me look back on my life on when I'm able now to see exactly when God had his hand of protection over us. You know, we were the ones getting caught and getting in trouble.
The statistics that are out there, this for black men alone. One in every 3 black men end up in jail for prison. And out of that number, that one is either going to get a life sentence or they're going to give some kind of time.
Yeah. Whew, it's kind of make you feel like it's like a lose-lose situation, like a lose-lose win. It's like every third percentage. Sometimes, you know, like how you see everyone in 5. So it's like a 1/5 chance that you go make it, you know, which is really sad. And like I tell my kids all the time is that, man, y'all a future. Like y'all have to be the ones to make the change. Because if the change don't happen now, y'all kids gonna be growing up in even the craziest of craziest, you know, of times than what it is right now.
Like I've seen a couple of my boys that I was really close with. They're still close with to this day. A couple of them did go to jail for 5-7 years behind. And you know, when they came out, they literally told me what it was on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't out Brent.
Yeah, we ain't built for that, Brent. We not built for that. I know I ain't built for that.
Look. You know, just walking in and going and see what I saw in the I knew I wasn't built for that. I love my freedom. I love being able to do things that I can do. I love being around my family and my friends, loved ones. But to be sitting up there with Mr. 39 million.
Oh no. Thank you, Lord, for keeping us, because we not about that life. Like, listen, I tell you, being young and seeing what I seen, like, it never put, I had an uncle who was a police officer, so I never feared cops, but I always just knew I didn't want to be on the other side, you know, of things when it came to that, because it's literally like, you're on your own, you know what I mean? And they don't care. I'm not gonna say they don't care about you, but from what I witnessed when I was younger, it didn't seem like they did. At least the ones who, you know, back in the day. So I just always knew, like, no, Joe, we don't need to do anything to put ourselves in a position or in a situation to where we need to deal with that. So if you could avoid it, go ahead and avoid it.
One of the things that, you know, I want to not only teach our young kids, but get them to fully understand, you know, especially with what's been happening as, I would say, the really last 10-20 years, you can't just talk to these cops anymore. You can't move around them anymore. And you know, it's almost like they're not going to have an even difficult conversation to explain to kids why they can't do certain things, why they can't move the way that, why they can't just grab their phone or try to get something practice and they will go over. Because nowadays you don't know what that cop is doing. You don't know what he got going on that he might put out on you.
Right.
It seems way too often.
It's way too often. We have a saying here at the house. I'm still working on my husband with it, but just come home. You know, like I said it last week to where it was Craig's daddy that was explaining to him on Friday about, you know, with the gun, this and that or whatever. But he said when you use this, you know, you get to fight another day. So in my mind, even with fighting, because nobody want to do that, I'm like, whatever it is that needs to be done, you come home and then we fight it the right way. You know what I mean? I don't need to fight it now with a RIP or you 6 feet under. Now we grieving when it was something. And one thing it is, because we have an older, you know, son. One of the things that we have to, you know, when we sit down and talk, me and my husband with him, is that it don't make you a punk. It don't make you feel like, you know, your manhood is being challenged when you're put in a position to where your life can easily be taken right then and there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you thinking about it in that way, shape, form, or fashion. What you do is, you do what it is, you come home. We talk about it. We call our attorney. You know what I mean? We call our peeps. And we fight it that way.
Versus y'all get a phone call and that phone call two ways. It can either be even got picked up in LTC or he's at the mall, you gotta come up and find spot.
Right, and we don't want that. So we go do it the right way. And what's the good thing about it is because I feel like whoever needs to be exposed, if you need to be the one to expose them, you go ahead and do it. So if you, whatever type of cop or whatever type of person, then whenever it's done the right way, you go just be exposed, and not just you getting exposed, but now it's like a standard now is being put in place to where now you can't do this to another person, and if you do, now you have a track record, you know, that follows you. It's just the way how my mind goes, because I'm all about paperwork. I'm all about what does the track record say, what papers, you know, what it is that's following this person, because your name means everything. Your character, you know, it means everything. So when you have so many people now attaching things to that you're doing, eventually it's going to have to start to wear you down to where you either don't want to do it no more, or you really truly that person, which probably mean you don't need to be in the field, you know, the field of job wise of where you currently are.
Right. And you know, definitely one of the things, especially when it comes to the youth leadership initiative, like I personally want to expose them to everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? Not just, you know, the good, but for the bad and the side of what can happen. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I think when I was with the youth group, compared to in this responding, one of the things that I came up with was I wanted to take the boys and bring them to a home, just so they can. This is what you can end up if you don't do the right thing, or if you make that one wrong decision that can cost you your life up.
Yeah.
You know, when we did that, like, you really fully understood it, and they were like, man, I don't want to do nothing. And that's when I said, okay, well, let's figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, because now they have something to connect their consequences with. Exactly. That's the issue nowadays.
Like they don't have that connection at all, and I think the biggest problem is they don't have anybody showing them what they're so.
Yeah.
It's like nowadays kids don't even want to fight out their issues. They'd rather run home and get a gun than shoot somebody, and they have no kind of, you know, ammunition or gun training. They really shouldn't have anything.
Right.
Bullets don't have a name, and you know, wherever you shoot, they're gonna go. And either gonna shoot at the person that you're trying to get into, or you're gonna live and you end up showing somebody else. So I kind of feel like our form, you really gotta think of everything, and you can't make these decisions because you got people.
Yeah.
If you got people fight it out, walk it out, you know what I'm saying? Don't do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But there's no need to run home and come back, try to shoot you. Because then you're gonna end up killing one of your homeboys, or your cousin, or an innocent 5-year-old girl that's just trying to ride a bike with that. Or somebody's family funerals.
Yeah. And it's happening. Like, it's currently, happening. And when you were talking, one of the things that I wrote it down, is saying you have to have a heart for what it is that you do. Like, it truly has to be a heart desire, because you can't be out here just trying to, say you're helping the kids and, being there for them and showing them the way.
For glitz and the glam.
Yeah.
All the awards that might come with it. I want to do it because I ain't necessarily need.
Yeah.
And these kids need to have some kind of guidance that nobody else is giving. And nobody is giving them the opportunity to not only figure out what they do, but actually come up with a mentor that can help them get there.
Yeah, to walk them through, to actually show them, because I noticed even with my kids, them kids not getting it with you just telling it to them. You literally have to show it. Like, you have to show it to them.
I think when I was in high school, that's like my senior year when J Square first got.
Oh Lord, J Square. We was looking at the picture the other day, the band picture.
It really started from me looking at him like, he ain't really trying to help me get nowhere. Somewhere in the middle of the school year, he would walk in the office and be like, hey, I see something in you. Let's try to figure this out and let's figure out what we do with it.
Yeah.
And, it went from him just being just a teacher to him kind of turning a mentor, and then from just being with him, I ended up going to the music scholarship and being a great actor because you did the score for the 96 Olympics.
Yay.
And, you know what I'm saying? And started into other big things.
Yeah.
Because that conversation that we had, like, hey, I see you have some natural talent. Let me introduce you to somebody that can respond to that. Let's start a partnership something.
Yeah, and you see, I feel like that's what it really starts with, is just being able to see a person. Like, I know many people, like we talked about it last week too, when you gave my bracelets, I'm like, you see me. Like, you don't, it's like, it's not a direct conversation or something you come out directly and say. It's like, hey, I need you to see me. You know what I mean? But
and it's like that's the thing that I'm learning too, especially in the business world. It's like there was some learning some. I felt like I wasn't being seen.
Yeah.
But I'm really being seen by people.
Yeah.
It's like when I go out, or even those days when I work, I'm wearing one of my logo around it, and people ask me, "Hey, what's that? Like, what are you trying to do?"
Yeah.
Just out of issues, I got 4 or 5 people to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the whole time I'm thinking I'm not being seen, I'm actually being seen.
You actually are.
That's literally, where, the nomination for the 24-Hour Citizen Project came from. That's where the one that you did again is came from, and it's everything else is
yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it when people feel as if they're seen. It makes a world of a difference. Oh my God, it makes a difference.
Yeah, because it was those moments that I realized that I was 15. That's when things start flowing down my feet. Like, oh, you were really showing me everything that I
yeah. Yeah, and it's not for anyone it is who's maybe listening. It's not. It does not come from a place of wanting to boast or wanting to, be put on a pedestal or being put on display. But when you're an individual and you're living, really truly living this life out, and you're literally walking by faith, and you're not sure if you making the right decisions or if you're going the right path or if you're doing things, the right way, you're questioning. Right, you're questioning every single thing. Your mind is just racing everywhere. And when you just have that one person who just either comes up to you and gives you words of affirmation or confirmation or encouragement, or give you a bead bracelet with your favorite color and your name on it, you know what I mean? Like, that deposits something on the inside of you to, it's like, oh, I'm being seen. So then it makes you now want to take things up to another level, because if people see me, I gotta make sure I'm representing something. You know what I mean? So it's stuff that comes with that as well. But I honestly feel like it catapults you into the next level. And then it catapults you into the next level. And you just keep going and going and going. And now you go from just being able to acknowledge people seeing you, but now where you're literally in a position to where now you can see other people as well. Not saying you didn't before, but when you get that feeling and that emotion and you know what that feels like, now you're able to speak to other people from experience and from emotional part of it,
It starts to put you in different conversations.
It does.
Rooms with other people that you would not have thought you were going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Because another thing that came out of me going through this Chamber of Commerce conference last week, I actually ended up meeting one of the vice presidents over the community management at Chase. And we ended up having the conversation. Just like kind of like what we explained, my vision, what I want to do. And the last thing I looked up was, hey, how can I help you get that?
Yeah.
How can we be part of this so we can get there, and I can give you other things as well. This can in turn turn the conversation about funding later on.
Yeah, and then too, I know we mentioned earlier about, the crab in the bucket mentality. Not everybody like that. Like, they literally genuinely have people who really seriously want to see you win, want to see whatever it is that they can do for you. They go do it. No strings attached, not expecting anything in return. Like, they genuinely just want to be a blessing to you. And I know for me, at first, it was hard for me to receive that. I'm like, what you want from me? Like, people, because we grew up saying that nothing comes free. Or people don't just do stuff for you like you always, like, I wish.
In some areas, you have this mentality that people think you
right. Yeah. But had I not been renewing my mind, oh my God, like, that stuff would have literally ate me from the inside on out. Because I'm like, what do you want from me? Or another thing is, I felt like I always had to be the one that was needed. Like, you need me. I got to do this for you. Like, I got to be that person who you come to, and you got to depend on me. Like, I really was like, man, I really don't want to be this person. But I'm doing it. Why? Because it was something feeding my insecurity. I'm like, I gotta.
That was literally thinking, okay, what maybe I need to be the background, do this. And some aspect, I still feel like I need to be the background. But I can't, because I know I'm not just a name, I'm not a face. That's along with the book, and I have to be the face of a brand.
Yeah, and listen, bro, it's scary. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. People talk about. I understand fear, get it. But what I also too had to come to grips with is God gave us emotions for a reason. Like, I know people say, like, fear, like, not to allow it to overtake you. But at the same time, fear is not always a bad thing. Like, if you fear something, it should position you to where now you're wanting to overcome that. So it's actually helping with growing you. But if you sit in it, now that's a problem. Don't sit in it, you know?
And like one of the things is part of the reason why it took me as long as it did to get around that is because I had that fear of, is this really going to work? Am I really going to be successful with this? Am I really going to be able to sustain what I'm doing? And you really build that insecurity up to where you're like, nah, I can't do this.
You built it up.
And I said last week, I put it down and picked it up a couple of times. And here I am now, getting into the accelerating on time. It really puts you in that position to where, okay, you know what? I was wrong to think like that. I changed my mindset.
Yeah.
And really put this to action because this needed this.
Yeah, so that fear thing, like I agree with certain people on it, but I don't, because I'm like, it's a natural emotion, like it's a natural emotion, and we all human. Now I don't believe you should allow fear to stop you. I don't believe that, but at the same time, Brent, I'm scared of scary movies. I'm fearful of scary movies. I'm not gonna sit down and watch a scary movie because you telling me to overcome fear. I'm not doing it. Why? Because I gotta go to sleep watching cartoons. I gotta say my prayers. I'm having horrible dreams. So because I fear it, I don't do it. You see what I'm saying? So fear is not always a bad thing. Now, if they come to me growing my business and I'm fearful of going to talk to somebody, I know I have to overcome that. So what's the tools, what I need to do, who I need to talk to help me with overcoming that. So I feel like there's a such thing as healthy fears. You know what I mean? But not all fears are bad.
I mean, even the entrepreneur is there is no healthy fear of the unknown. What will happen? What won't happen? But like I said, one of those things that has to overcome that is getting into the accelerating, really understanding how to get out of that comfort zone of just doing what I normally would do.
Yeah, because we don't know. None of us know. I'm literally in a position like, okay, God, I will accept whatever you allow. I don't know. I'm thankful to be 35 because, man, I told my kids, and people think when I say this like I'm being funny about it, but I'm not. So Jesus, he spent only 33 years here with us, right? 2 years ago was the pandemic, and it was my 33rd birthday. So Brent, I didn't think I was gonna live past 33, and like with everything that was going on, I'm like, man, like I think God really about to take me out, bro. I'm literally telling that to my husband. I'm like, babe, we got to make sure things is in order, things are lined up. I'm like, man, I think it was like a Fred Sanford. I think a big one coming. But what it was, I had built up so much of unhealthy fear. We got a pandemic. I had went through postpartum depression. Yeah.
What is it like?
Like not knowing. Yeah, I'm like, we have people, every month for sure, but almost every week, sometimes 2-3 people in 1 week. We had that, we were transitioning, and I was just like, I can't allow myself, and that's why I say I had to learn on my own healthy fear and unhealthy fear. I can't allow this fear of the unknown and the uncertainty and what I see, everything going on around me, to compress me to where I don't want to do or don't want to be anything. So that was even, a transition in my life that I had to take personally when it came to fear. And I was just like, okay, God, if you ready to take me out, you will take me out regardless if I'm ready or not. You know what I mean? But with moving forward, I'm just go say, okay, all bets on, God, let's see where it goes. And like literally taking that leap of faith, not just one leap, but every single day, getting up in the morning, okay, God, what are we doing today? Okay, God, what we doing today? Before going to sleep. Okay, what's your plan tomorrow? You want to give me an insight? To where now my language literally is whatever God, I accept whatever God allows.
Yeah.
Business, personal, ministry, children, wife, whatever, because we really have no control over it. And I think that's where a lot of the unhealthy fear comes from, because we have no control, we don't know, and because of that we want to know, so we build up anxiety, and then that turns into fear, on the inside of us.
Exactly. We got to get out of it.
So we got to start turning our hobbies to hustles.
Yeah, and I've been saying, one of the best ways to learn your hobby or hustle and into a business.
Yeah.
Even if if anybody that's listening has an idea, in the next couple of weeks, they will be starting the next class of the Broussard.
Yeah.
It's going to be coming up, and when it does, it's going to be another group of individuals and have either an idea, or they have a startup, or they have existing business, but they want to grow in phase. And these guys, Kevin Gillum and Shirley, they're going to be the ones that, not only helping you and what you got going on, they're going to give you, the necessary tools and resources, and even people that you can help them that help you.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So I'm going to make sure to get that information from you, to make sure that I'm connecting it to the videos, putting it out there as well. So this was a great conversation.
Talk about it.
That's what we do here at Uncomfortable. We just have a conversation. And the goal in the prayer is that whoever is listening, it just sparks something on the inside of them for them to spark up a conversation with hearing about the young kids and the nonprofit organization. Okay, as a parent, what my child doing, and my child not doing nothing, and I need my child to have some type of mentor, I need to hit up Brent, real quick. Hey, what is it that you could advise me for? Give me, whatever the case may be.
I've even had a couple of people hit me up on LinkedIn asking me about it and trying to figure out what I'm doing, see where when they contribute, who they can tune me into.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. One of the things that I love is I love being part of people's beginnings, because as God continues to go and to grow you and expand you and enlarge your territory of things, I can say, Brent, you remember when we did the podcast? Yeah, I just love it.
Like I seen talking with the guys that I'm to celebrate all the time, even Corey Jack and for the friend, Charles Edwards, who was another one that I met to celebrate all the time, even mentor. Like it really gives you that you that not only will hold you accountable, but they'll take you wherever now.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know what? Let's now talk about this. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, everybody needs a person, and sometimes you need persons. You know what I mean? Because not everybody. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody ain't all right. Everybody ain't all right. Everybody need a person to talk to. Everybody might need a person to call. Everybody needs somebody who they can call. And knowing that we out here just doing life.
Right.
We can't do life by ourselves.
For the ones that's listening. As you're making that transition from a hobby to a hustle, you gotta have towards that can guide you along the way. Because you ain't gonna be what those mentors can teach you along the way, and throughout your journey.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to cause you to get up. Okay. Well, how can we explain? How can we put here? Because what my biggest goal now is I'm still getting funny and trying to build my program records that can eventually staff. I'm looking at what can I do now just on the north side of that, But what can I do when the parish has a Lord? What can I do when it's your parish? What can I do with St. Andrews?
All the parishes.
And all of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Maybe throughout the state.
Yeah. Hey, speak it.
And if God allows, nationwide.
Yeah, hey, speak it. Listen, I think one of the best things that happened with COVID was these Zoom calls and technology, because now people realize you don't literally need to go and be nowhere to have a conversation. You just gotta do a Zoom call. You know?
Now, okay, well, you know what? The verse would have this input that we get a feel for what's trying to do.
Yeah. Oh, y'all, that's Cadence. Cadence like, Mama, you've been on here too long. That's what. Okay, yeah, we have a 2-year-old who she's the boss of the house. So, yeah. She's literally the boss of the house. But listen, this has been another great conversation, Brent. I just appreciate you coming and talking with me and sharing your business and the nonprofit organization. I'm more than excited and ready for you to get that up and going. Once you do, send me the information so we can blast it everywhere.
Let me go ahead and drop the basis for the whole that they can do is on Facebook, Louisiana Entrepreneurial and Economic Development Center. Typically on their Facebook, they normally post stuff about it. You know, the applications come out and you know, the activities of the classes and everything. I know when I talked to Jonathan last week, he was thinking about putting out that in the next 2 weeks so that they can put that application. And you know, to let people know, Accelerate Artois is under a grant that is literally from the Small Business Association and state as well. But they partnered up with UL and put this on, not just as a way to build an Artois, to give entrepreneurs a way to build their business. Or, you know, like I said, if you have an idea for a business, you have a way to bring that idea from just a thought in your head to the Broussard Enterprise Group or whatever you want to name.
Yeah. Yeah, that is great and amazing to know that is an opportunity, you know, like a chance of opportunity for so many small businesses. Because let me tell you, with me, I'm 2 years in and I'm like, man, I didn't even know that was an option. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of felt like, you know, out here doing business, growing business, you know, like it make you feel like you're by yourself until you start to branch out and learn about the different organizations and groups. And so on.
One of the greatest things is they're not just just on the north side of Latin. They branched out to have Accelerate Liberia, Accelerate Evangeline.
That's awesome.
I think they're also one of the million parishes now.
Okay.
To get those entrepreneurs to build their business as well.
Yeah.
Literally was supposed to be just one concentrated area turned into almost a massive operation.
Hey.
And you know, just to even give our listeners pricing and everything. And the actual cost is $125, but through the grant, you can actually and whenever you do the application, the waive of $420 or $400 to where you're only paying $25 for the course, and you get all the knowledge.
Yeah, you still gotta invest. Still gotta invest. Yeah.
Of the business, they give you marketing, social media, how to find people when you don't have one, and you know they plug you into the small business development center and other organizations inside the light for it. Of course, that's the building.
Yeah.
But they have other organizations that you actually don't talk to.
Yeah.
One of the things that helped me out in the last week was actually getting with Philip Russo and the Small Business Development Center he's helped me finalize my business plan to make me better. I guess you can say ready for whatever I go to a bank or a credit union to fund it.
Preparation, yeah.
Yeah, you need that preparation, that coaching, and even give you the templates that you can use to build, to write yourself out, build your idea, how much you're going to need for this funding. We've embraced it where right now, that's what you need from your furniture to how much you're going to pay for the building, how much it is. And it'll even break down the loan aspect of it, of how much you need to put in and how much the bank is going to put in.
Yeah.
It's a valuable resource that now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is going to help me out with me and the guy from the team having the conversation.
Yeah, you're going to know how to enter in the room. Yeah.
Give him those numbers in the perspective. And he can actually go, oh, we do this your homework.
Yeah. Getting the knowledge of before you enter into the room. Yeah, I like it. So I'm going to make sure to get all that information from you to make sure I can tag it to the video so people who search for it, they'll have it just at a click of a button. But Brent, I thank you. I appreciate you. This is good. It's always good. It was good even last week we came from.
As we compared to this week was even better.
Yeah, it was because we went a little deeper, a little deep.
I wouldn't think this is how we really did people they ever asked that we didn't into.
Yeah, we showed it. So that's all we do. We just run it back, take it back, run it back. And there's nothing wrong with that because sometimes even in business, you got to do it one way, see what you missed, and then you come back to do it all. To do what you failed on. Not I don't want to say failed on, but what you happen to leave out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like I told you last week, initially when I went to talk to my business about my ideas and my profit, that was back in 2015.
Yeah.
I didn't have a business plan. I didn't know what a business plan was. I didn't even know how people did that. And when I went into that conversation, I literally had nothing. And the guy in my team was like, well, I really can't do anything with that idea. And it felt like I was getting shut down. Which made me put it to the side and what I may not worry about it. But then give it to the regard side in that one class. That's when I was like, oh, okay, so that's what I do. Let me look at how I'm going to write this. And the next time I have that conversation, I'm armed with work.
Right. So that's good. And I think that's like really important for people to know is that, just because you have a no right now does not mean, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
Because even, in the last couple of months with me researching brands, one of the things that I'm really understanding is, not only do they see what you've done, they also, want you to have other things in mind whenever you go. Because I've got to think of something when I'm like, damn, what did I do wrong? And when I went back and looked at it, one of the biggest things is I haven't been in business for a full year.
Yeah.
So, because that's another thing that a lot of banks and credit unions look for is how long have you been in business?
Or they can't share. They want to know.
Yeah, like these are things that people that you don't know. So what I want to tell people is, it may be an idea, but truthfully, that first year is going to be a learning key to really figure out what you need to know. Because even with me, having it succeed, I got to do what I'm working. Taxes are going to look like what taxes is going to look like. Because there's the tax laws and tax implications with that side of it. Outside of just having a nonprofit, that's going to be taxes.
Yeah, and let me tell you talking about taxes, man. When I did my taxes for the first time with my business, I felt so liberated. I felt so good. I I handled my business. Like, I felt proud. And I'm just like, so this is what doing it the right way look like and feel.
I know, I was still let everything figure out what the business is going to be. And I was like, look, come January when I do taxes, I'm going to know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to get back.
Yeah, but you handle business though, so you see, and that's like another thing. What it is too is that when you can turn a hobby to a hustle. With a hustle, you ain't trying to do no taxes, but when that evolves into a business, you gotta take care of your taxes. Now you gotta handle your business on the back end.
There's different structures
because it comes to structure. Yeah.
There's S corp, there's the C corp. The main one in one of the podcasts this week. There's also a B. Like there's so many different structures of businesses, but for the structure there's a different hustle for that.
Right.
That too. And one of the greatest missions find all of the information is on the Small Business Association website.
So listen, there's absolutely no reason to why we should still be doing the hobby to hustle now. Now it's time for us to take the hustle to the business. And anyone can do it. I don't believe there's no limitations to it. If you really have the heart desire for it, you can do it. You have heard from Brent. You have heard even from myself. It is possible. It takes work.
It takes a lot of reason.
It takes work. It takes wisdom. It takes humbleness. It takes, submitting yourself. It takes,
making those phone calls to a few people like, hey, I got a question.
Yeah, and asking questions like. When I was younger, because my people would be like, you from Lafayette? I'm like, yeah. I got like a little accent. I don't know where it come from. It come from somewhere. But when I was younger, I didn't like my voice. I didn't like the way I sound. I didn't like, you know what I mean? So even though I knew the answer or had a question in class, I wasn't the one because of my voice. So it shied me away from asking a lot of questions in school. But one of the things that I heard, I think it was Mr. Corville at Northside. I mean, not Northside, at Acadian Middle. He had told me one time, he said, an unasked question is a dumb question.
Exactly.
So now I have that in my head, like, Joe, if you need to know, like, you're not dumb, you're not stupid, so ask the question, you know what I mean? Because you need the answer. If you knew the answer, you wouldn't have to ask the question.
I can tell you from my understanding if I have a question about something, I'm either text Corey, I'm Charles,
you asking the question though.
I need to got a question.
Yeah.
Or even on 2 years, if I see trouble at church because it wasn't going to test his feet. I ask people, I'm like, yeah, if I got a question, man, I need to know.
That's good. Just being able to have that access and the opportunity and chance. And because in all honesty, some people don't have it. Well, many people don't have it. But I believe as for anyone it is who's watching or listening, as you start to get out of your own way, as you work on, your mental, and you get uncomfortable. You get comfortable being uncomfortable. When you start to do that, that's going to put you in the positions to where you're going to get out of your box. You know what I mean? And you're going to start to explore. And you're going to start to discover, and you're going to see for yourself in your own experience that you really don't have to do life by yourself. You really don't have to do this business by yourself. You really don't have to go and searching for the information. If you just ask the question who you even think may have it, if not, they'll probably point you, into the direction of where you need to go. I feel like as business owners or even just as individuals, we put so much on ourselves. You know what I mean? So where we stop and hinder ourselves from being able to take the next step or even getting to the next level because we're overthinking stuff, to where like everybody's against you or nobody wants to help you or no one wants to be there. But once we get out of that stinking thinking of things, we really be like, oh, it's really not that bad. Like, it's really not that bad. I was like putting a whole thought and an image behind it, and it's nothing like that. You know what I mean? So,
it's actually something to grow on from.
yeah, we gotta grow. We is in the season of growing, like I shared with you too. I believe that God has orchestrated everything for everybody now to get in position, get where you need to be, because there literally is a wave. You know, Pastor Ken told us there's a wave of things that's happening. And I'm like, man, I don't care if I gotta get a floaty or what, throw me in the middle of the ocean. I'm gonna ride that wave. Yeah, listen. Yeah, we got to go. It's go season. We going with God for the rest of the season, however long that may be. So, Brent, we gonna go ahead and close it out real quick. Look, I thank you. I appreciate you. This was so good. Yeah. So until next time, thank you. I can't wait until we do it again. I cannot wait. Listen, if we gotta make it happen, like I text, we gonna make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna fit it into our schedule some kind of way.
It is always a great pleasure of sitting with him and talking to him. This is our second week in a row on doing it. Listen, we talked 2 weeks in a row about going from hobby to hustle, right? Hobby to hustle. We learned that, guess what? We ain't got to do this life by ourselves. It is going to be very uncomfortable. But to know that even in our uncomfortableness, there is people, there are tools, there are resources. There are so many things that is out there, waiting for us to put our hands on it, for us to ask questions, for us to start to network and connect with other people. So if you're looking to grow, I hope that you can go back, watch our previous videos, get all of the information, hit up Brent. He is available on Facebook and also too on Instagram, or even for myself, hit me up. I'll make sure to get the questions, answers for you as much as possible if I can. But if not, guess what? We go figure it out, right? We go get it from somebody. So listen, until next time, go out, live an uncomfortable lifestyle. I pray that God continues to bless each and every single one of y'all. My heart is thankful and grateful for everyone it is who tunes in every single week. So listen, I am hosting my very first pop-up shop this Saturday. If you're in the Lafayette area, please make sure to go follow me on Facebook and Instagram, so that way you can keep up with all of the updates, but also to where you can see all of our amazing vendors who's going to be there. We have activities as well that's going to be set up for the kids, and guess what? It's going to be good because it's going to be God. So many blessings to all of you all. You all have a great night, and make sure to live that uncomfortable life.